much of a poker player, but I'd say this is a straight flush of awesomeness. Hey, this is Kevin from CGRundertow, and these are HuCards for the TurboGrafx-16. So this is a very interesting console with some of the smallest games at the time. These are pretty slick. Definitely a nice change from big cartridges or CDs that can get scratched up all the time. So these are pretty awesome. Unfortunately, they don't quite have as much capacity as some of the Genesis and Super Nintendo games that were coming out at the time. So they were a little bit limiting in that way, but definitely like the design of these. So they go into a TurboGrafx-16, just like so. And they tend to work pretty well. You do have, these pins can get kind of corroded over time, but in general, they seem to work better than like some of my old 8-bit NES games. But that's what some of the art looks like. Every once in a while, other companies would put a little more detail into the artwork, but this is a pretty standard TurboGrafx-16 game. They also came in jewel cases, just like CDs. There's like the Keith Courage and Alpha Zones case. One of the launch titles, the pack-in game, TurboGrafx, and it has your manual, and then cards kind of flop around like this. Some of the other cases have a protector to help hold the card in place. That's kind of nice. Let's put Bonk's Adventure back in there. There's that. Man, this game's sweet. And you might notice the Turbo CD is attached to this thing. So, as you can see here with Ys Book 1 and 2, one of the CD games, it looks like your typical CD. It's another compact disc. And to play it, you just use your CD system card. So that slides in there, and then you put in your CD game. But one thing I always thought was a little bit weird about some of the TG16 games, a lot of them don't really have anything on the back. They're just completely blank. But there's a typical, side view. Some of the other ones, they've changed the font on a few of the games. So like that's pretty typical. But in general, they've kept pretty consistent with these two styles. But a lot of TurboGrafx games definitely had some interesting packaging. Very like comic booky style to a lot of these. Definitely some interesting games that we'll be taking a look at here on Undertow very shortly. So look out for those.